Good afternoon. Welcome to the Spirit of Motorsport podcast. Today and over the next 2 weeks, we'll be giving you and delivering to your homes the tales of the TT live. So we've got some incredible guests lined up. It is an interactive experience. I want to remind you of that. You can get involved. I encourage you to get involved. So fire any questions our way and we can share it with our guests that we've got coming up. Today, we've got the great Davo Johnson. So we have some pre-prepared questions from you guys. So thank you so much for contributing to that. But also remember, you can add throughout the live broadcast. You can send us in your questions and you can also join us live. All you need is a pair of earphones, Google Chrome on your device, and you can jump in the studio with us. All right. So we've got a great show lined up. Davo is going to be joining us. We're going to be sharing your questions. And then also we're going to be inviting a couple of other little, some fans on at the end of the show as well. All right, guys. So stay tuned in. Please do get involved in the conversation. We want to hear what you have to say. I'm sure Davo does too. All right, guys. So I'm going to invite the great Davo Johnson.
Hey.
How you doing, Davo?
Hey, good, thank you. Hello, everybody. Hey, Hailey, how you going?
Hi. Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem at all. It's all good.
Yeah, all the way from...
we're in Australia, Adelaide in Australia at the moment. It's
Yeah.
Thursday night. It's
Right.
freezing evening, so it's good to be inside.
Right, yeah, so it's going into your autumn now, is that right?
So just hit winter.
It's just hit winter, okay.
So, yeah, it's like probably 15 degrees in the daytime, which is pretty cold for us.
Okay, woo! It's quite warm for us, that, really.
Yeah, you'd think so, but it's actually, everyone's freezing there, you know what's up.
And what a great background you got there. Nice leathers, nice rich energy drink. OMG.
Yeah, a few rich energy drinks. I'll crack one open now. This is for the non-believers out there as well. Just got to get this going.
Great.
It's a real deal.
It's a delicious
A
drink.
few of my leathers from the year and a couple of trophies and my new helmet for this year, but I haven't really used it yet, unfortunately, but we'll use it eventually.
So what's the deal then, Davo? Obviously, we're going to be touching on the TT mostly today, but for the rest of the season with everything else that you would normally have going on, what's the update for you guys with regards to getting started and getting going again?
It's hard to say. I mean, we're still unknown at the moment. Like I'm just always in touch with my team boss, Alan and Paul Curran. They're in England waiting patiently as well, like we all are. But yeah, that's I'm just so looking forward to getting on the BMWs, eventually the OMG Rich Energy BMWs. But yeah, no idea when that's going to be. I'm hoping to get over there and do some testing and possibly get maybe some race miles as well, like with that BSB or whatever. And then the sort of last hope for the year is the Macau Grand Prix. So just fingers crossed for that goes ahead. But yeah, that's it. But yeah, at the moment just sitting and waiting. But tomorrow I'm riding a little 300cc bike on a go-kart track, just sort of do something. It's just get my knee down and get sweaty under the helmet and just sort of mimic what I've roughly got to do, hopefully at some point this year.
So you've been racing though since 3 years of age, is that right?
4 years old. I started
4 years
BMX
old.
racing.
Yeah.
So that was a long time ago, but I never really was that interested in motorbike racing. Like my dad had his full career of racing all sorts of bikes. Like he was a superbike racer in the sort of 70s, and then he sort of gave it up when he had me and my sister, and then me and my sister both started BMX at a very young age, and we were traveling the world doing that before I'd even sat on a motorbike. So it was not until sort of 15, 16 years old I had to go on a motorbike, and the BMX bike got put to one side pretty much, and then the whole motorbike thing started. So yeah, and it's I'm still really enjoying it, and I also still love getting back on the BMX bike from time to time. So, but I seem to hurt myself a lot. Spend a bit of time in hospital after riding too much BMX.
What have you been getting up to during the time that you've been having to stay at home? Then have you still been getting plenty of time out on some kind of bike, entertaining yourself?
Yeah, I'm mainly just sitting in the shed, just working on my other bikes. I've got loads of projects on the go, and I've had so many that I've been meaning to do for so long, like, and I'll just do little bits of each one when I come back to Australia at the end of the year, sort of thing. It's this sort of Corona period, it's allowed me to finish a few. I've got 3 of them done, and still working a lot on these other ones. So, but yeah, it's just not much really. Like, it's doing a bit of work here and there as well, just sort of keeping occupied. It's just keeping busy. Like, it's not like I can go out and get a full-time job for the next 3 months. It's just it's hard. So I just got to make sure I stay prepared and keep training. I'm keeping the train just ticking over. Like, if I knew I had a race to go to, like, say if I was coming over to do BSB and I knew that I was going to do the whole series or whatever they're going to do, I'd be training a lot harder. But there's sort of nothing to train for at the moment, so I'm just sort of ticking over, making sure I don't get too fat, and just enjoying myself and my family, because it's the first time in 18 years that I've actually been here at this time of the year, so it's good.
Yeah.
I get to have my birthday in Australia for the first time since
I
was 18 or 19.
Oh.
That was in April, so it's just weird. It's strange, but I'm liking it as well. But it's this time of the year especially. Like, it's clear that my newly wife now, I got married in February, so
congratulations.
She can see. Yeah, thank you. She can see that I'm getting stressed out, and I'm pretty much a ticking time bomb if she wants an argument, because the TT periods, I know she'll be there riding around the streets of the Isle of Man at freaking 200 miles an hour, but I'm not.
I know, it's heartbreaking, isn't it? Heartbreaking. Yeah. So we're just showing some shots here, Davo, some great shots from last year, I believe. Yeah, with your Rich Energy hat on. Nice. Yeah. So you made your debut back in 2010, right, at the TT?
Yep.
So how have you?
That was on Honda as well. So it was, sort of the last one I did was on Honda. So the first year was with Honda with the DP cold planing guys, Mick Charnock and the crew. And it was a good year. I didn't go straight back to it the year after. I sort of had a year away for different reasons, but and then came back again in 2012, and I've been there ever since. So it's it's a good progression, a steady progression. I got best newcomer my first year, but after when I went back again, it was steady progress to sort of get to where I am now. I didn't sort of go all out and risk anything too early. I just sort of bided my time and just sort of climb the ranks, and we're at the front now, so we just got to step up a couple more on the main TT. We've got the classic TT win, so that was good.
Yeah, awesome. Great. And your team, though, like, I was able to spend a bit of time with your team last year, and they're all just, what a great group of people. Yeah,
it was awesome. I'm bringing them guys to OMG as well, as many as I could, because we went really well with Honda, and it was there that team's sort of best result for a little while. But so it sort of, that door wasn't open, which is a good thing for me, because it opened the door with OMG Rich Energy team. Excuse me, and they're an awesome bunch of guys, and literally it's a godsend that I didn't sign again with Honda, or that door wasn't even there, which is I'm so happy that it wasn't, because of where I'm at. So we're just I'm looking forward to getting the ball rolling with the Rich Energy OMG guys and progressing even more.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure there's many out there as well looking forward to seeing you getting on that bike. We've had a few comments, Davo, so I'm just going to share. We've got, hi, Davo, good to see you. Then we also have Davo, do the long arm, Davo Johnson. And we've got Ugly & Co, great seeing you, Davo Johnson, Aussie Bike Racer, good.
I got their hat here as well.
Yeah, great.
At Ninth Mile, the Black Dog.
Yeah,
legend.
Yeah, great, excellent.
He's an absolute champion of a bloke, and I'll be spending a bit of time there at next year's TT.
Good. He's a good guy, isn't he? Good guy.
Yeah.
All right, Davo. So it is a Q&A. I don't want to be hogging you too much. I'm going to start going through the questions that our fans have been sending in. Are you ready?
Rightio.
Yeah. All right. So our first question is from Elton Woodhead. And Elton says, Davo, what is your favorite bike that you've ridden?
Well, it's only up until recently, and I've had that question quite a bit. There's a set of leathers just behind me here that of the bike that I actually rode. It was the Paul Burt Motorsport Ducati I rode at Macau Grand Prix, the V4 factory bike that was ridden by Josh Brooks in the BSB, and I jumped on that thing, and it was just like the most amazing bike. Like I was just sort of riding around Macau, like learning the bike and sort of getting my way around it, and then I saw no higher than P3 on my lap board in the whole session the first time I ever rode it. So I was just like, what the hell is this? And then it just progressed from there, and it was just such an easy bike to ride. And I'm sure the OMG Rich Energy bikes are going to be on par with that when I get on. So it's just it taught me a lot about like sort of factory bikes. Like if you spend your whole life on factory bikes, you're going to be doing some serious winning. Like, and the way I've gone in my career, I've had to sort of ride all sorts of different bikes, and yeah, to ride something like that, you know how people are winning so often. So it was literally the guys that I was sort of getting smoked by last year, I was beating them. The year before, sorry, I was beating them at Macau last year. So it was pretty surreal. So that answers that one.
Thank you. All right. And then another one from Elton. I'd like to know this one. What's your favorite beer?
Well, I don't actually drink beer.
Ah.
No, my dad's ashamed of me because he's a big beer drinker.
Legendary Murray. Very good.
I drink cider, but not beer. But if I did drink beer, I'll be loyal to South Australia, and I'll say West End, the old red and black cans.
Okay.
But but that's disgusting beer. I have to say, but if I did drink beer, I'd make myself drink it because it's South Australian.
Okay, great. Thank you. Brilliant. All right. So the next one is Bill Greenaway. Hi, Davo. Bill from Stoke.
Hello, Bill. Go, Bill.
There you go. He's just asked about Macau. So what's the likelihood of Macau going ahead? So you've just mentioned that. Yeah. So when's the next update for that? Do you know? We're
talking with the organisers at the moment, and Alan and the boys and Paul from Rich Energy, OMG Racing are talking to them as well. So we just sort of got to play it by ear, because at the moment we can't even get to Hong Kong from Australia, and I don't think it probably could either from England. So it's all just a waiting game to see exactly what's going to happen. But the sort of the invites have gone out, so they're telling people that it's happening. So it's just, like I say, just a waiting game on the actual confirmation. But at the moment we're just rolling with it as if it's going to go ahead. So, and I definitely am for my headspace, because I'm going a bit crazy thinking that I'm not going to ride all year properly. So we need it to happen.
Good. Okay, thank you. We have a comment here from Rimmer's Racing Record. Hi, Davo. I must say that your first win, I saw your first win at the TT. It was one of my faves last year, and I hope you'll be winning more next year. Me too.
Thank you.
It was mega.
I hope so too. Definitely with the right kit underneath me. I think we're definitely with a good shout. Good.
All righty. Are we doing okay? Your drink's going down well? Wetting the whistle? Yeah, excellent. All right. The next question is from Angie Sheffer. With an ever-increasing health and safety risk and adverse culture in your opinion, what future does road racing see, do you think? Dunk says hello.
G'day. Well, at the Isle of Man, it's never going to change anything there, because it's, it's a part of the place, and it's part of motorbike racing in general. So I don't think anything's going to change. Definitely the TT, but with whatever's going on with the Ulster in the northwest, I think it's just I'll be speculating as to see as what's going on, but it's it sort of sucks that the Ulster definitely got cancelled anyway, even if this virus wasn't like messing up the whole world. But and the Northwest 200, that's a big event, so I can't see it sort of dying down. It's definitely, especially the TT. I mean, it's so huge all around the world, and everyone knows about it, and it's and everyone wants it to keep going. Or there's a few people, even the people that sort of don't agree with it, probably still want it to happen just because they don't have anything to write about, but like the old keyboard warriors. But yeah, well, in Australia, you can't even fart here without getting a fine. So it's definitely not going to freaking happen here, like the nanny state of the world disjointed is. But yeah, I can't see it sort of being a problem anywhere else. Hopefully, fingers crossed on that one as well.
Yeah, it's for me, the Alamang, having grown up with it, and it's got such a special place in my heart. I hope I can't see that they'd ever get rid of it. It brings like over £27 million into the island. The population doubles in capacity. It's just such an epic event for the island, for the tourism, and the racing is insane. And there's so many supporters, isn't there? So I hope that it'll just continue to grow the way that it is. And we've got way more years ahead of us, including yourself racing in it. Yeah,
I'm up for it. As long as I can sort of still walk, I'll be riding. I'll try and go for the record, the oldest TT racer. Maybe I don't know what that is, probably about 60 or something, isn't it?
What's one of your favourite or fondest memories of the TT, Davo? Have we just touched on it?
Yeah, well, this last year was the whole sort of, I mean, getting the podium in the main TT and the Superstock TT on a bike we definitely didn't expect to do it on, and I don't think anybody expected anybody to do it on that bike as well. And that was an amazing moment. Yeah, so unexpected. We expected it on the Superbike because we were going well on that, and then sort of that didn't really go to plan. Definitely in the senior we broke down, but yeah, and then it just sort of boosted the level of my confidence as well. And then going into the classic TT, and the whole practice week was a nightmare for us. I only did 2 full laps on the bike before the race, and those 2 laps was like, wow, we've got a good bike here. And then in the race, I knew it was going to be me and Dunlop Dyson, and I knew he had a fair bit of pace, so I just sort of wanted to try and keep the pressure on. And I thought it sort of kept the pressure on his bike more than him, I think, because Dunlop obviously had a pretty big lead, and then his bike let out. But yeah, and I took the win, so I'm going to take it. I mean, he's had wins like that as well when the people are breaking down in front of him, and he took them. So yeah, although I know that he had a 9-second lead at the gooseneck, but yeah, I still won it. So got to finish first. You got to finish, the old saying. But yeah, that was an amazing moment, just for standing on the top step of the podium at the TT and hearing the Australian national anthem as well. And my dad was listening to it, and our good friends there on the Isle of Man, Andy Halsall, he was filming it and taking photos, and Dad was listening to the anthem at the same time. It was an amazing feeling, that one.
Incredible, great, beautiful memory. Right, we've got a fan going to be joining us, Davo. Adam Redding. Right. He's coming into the studio. He's got a question for you. Adam, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Hello, Davo.
Hey, mate. How you going, buddy?
Yeah, good. Yeah, really good. Yeah. What I wanted to ask was a bit of a 2-part question. First off, what inspired you or made you make the decision to give the TT a go at first? And then obviously you've got on really well with it. How does that then impact your preparations and your riding during what is a normal year? Do you watch any more onboards, or do you go TTs coming round and, well, I'm just going to line up on the Bray Hill and give it a crack?
Yeah, I do a fair bit of preparation. Like, yeah, watching a lot of videos, and to begin with, I was watching I was playing the game and was watching the Dave Jeffries lap from 2002, the one that he narrated. That was sort of my lap that taught me a lot. The big DJ is a hero of mine, and it was good to watch that and listen to the way he talked about each corner. But yeah, the first part of the question, I was like flat out in the BSB, and I was racing in Europe as well, and all over the place. And I got to the BSB in the superbike category, and we could never quite get on a bike that was, excuse me, Rich Energy made me burp. But yeah, couldn't quite get on a bike that was, well, anywhere near capable of winning, that's for sure. And I was sort of top 10 at best, and that was frustrating me. Like, that I knew that I could have been more competitive. So I just I was at a bit of a crossroads in my career. I was getting a bit fed up with being nowhere, and then the opportunity comes to do the TT, and I thought maybe sort of a backwards way of getting a factory black, because I've always been good at learning circuits. So that was sort of why I started to think about it. And I thought, well, if I do it at the TT, I mean, that's the ultimate. So if I impress people there, then I'll get a better bike to do the BSB, and it should steamroll from there. And it sort of has worked like that, really. But it's sort of, the only problem is it's sort of made me a bit bored of short circuits in general. It doesn't matter what bike I'm on. The mindset of it. It's changed the whole perception of speed. That's for sure. Like, even we used to go straight from the TT and then straight to Knock Hill, and that's like, I love that place, and I've had some good results there. But it's so slow, like, in comparison. I was going up over the start finish line, I could just sit out in the wind. My neck wasn't even sore, which at the TT, your neck's sore all the time. It's a big problem for TT riders. But and I was just riding around. I just got angry when I was riding, because it was just, I was like, what the hell is it? It just feels so slow. Like, because literally I could just jump off and walk next to the bike. So that sort of started to, that's what turned me more so into a TT, a road rider now, like, which I never initially wanted to be just a road rider. But I'll go back to BSB every now and again, and going. I like Superstock because it's a level playing field, and I like going to that class and just showing that I can still be competitive on short circuit, and I'll continue to do so. But now I am more of a road rider, but that's just how it is. But my first year was just unreal. So, and I did it once to tick the box, and then, like I said, I had a year off in 2011, and then went back in 2012, and then I've been there ever since, and I just kept ticking more boxes. So the first box you tick, as the people that say they're just going to do it to try it out, they can't just do it once. It's impossible. I haven't met anybody that's just done it once. Everybody's done it more, and it's, once it gets in your blood, you can't get it out. So you just got to keep at it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Good. I like it. Yeah. Well, short circuits losses are a gain. So good to see you at the TT.
Yeah, I still like short circuit. Yeah, but it's just I focus everything now just on mainly the TT. Like, it's my whole year revolves around it. But I still do enjoy doing one-offs here and there. Like, I'd rather shoot myself in the eye than go to frickin' Brands Hatch Indy circuit. That's just a waste of time. The roundabout. But the Brands Hatch long circuit is one of my favourite in the world. But then, so sort of tracks like the Indy circuit, like when you go there, it's just like, I'll pull a sickie on those days and probably get sacked from the team. But I'd rather not ride. Yeah.
Brilliant, Adam. Thank you so much.
Now. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you, Adam. Wow, great. That was lovely. All right, so we have another guest going to be joining us as well, but we do have a couple more questions and a bit of interaction from the fans. Dave, I'm just going to share that with you. Cool. Ian Anthony Huntley has asked, did you enjoy your time with Norton?
I did, yeah. There was a lot of bad sort of press going around about Norton at the moment, and with the boss from there, but I got along with them really well. Definitely some of my mechanics from there I'm still really, really good mates with, so it's and I still talk to them regularly, and I never had any problems with them paying me as well, which I know that there's some that have, but I'm sure if he had it he would have paid them. But so it's all turned to potty for the whole Norton thing at the moment, but they've been bought out by another whoever's bought it out now. Hopefully they're into racing and they continue it on. But I really did enjoy it. I was living in Donington Hall as well for 2 years, so living in a castle was not so bad. Like, just looking out over the grounds of Donington Hall every morning, overlooking Donington Park, that was pretty special. And they looked after me, so I've got nothing bad to say about Norton, and the bikes as well. Like I knew what they were going to be like when I first got on them. I probably actually thought they were going to be worse than what they were, because the first year we went straight and did high 130s, and yeah, it was sort of pushed them into the next level. And then the year after, they sort of tried to move things along, which they messed up in some areas and gained in others, which left us exactly the same spot as where we were in the first year. So then after that, I went with the Golf BMW, the Show 'em Your Racing team. So that definitely, yeah, like I say, nothing bad to say about Norton, but yeah, it's a good time.
Great, thank you. And we got Al at the Black Dove asking, will you be doing any wildcard rides for OMG Racing at BSB?
Well, I've mentioned it to him. I know James Hilliard definitely wants to, and I'm here. The problem is I'm stuck here. Like I'm definitely going to come over at some point this year and do definitely testing and hopefully a couple of BSBs. Definitely not the Brands That's Indy circuit. Like I say, that's I'm sick on that day. But I've told them I want to. So it's up to them. I mean, they've got a lot on their plate, and for them all to just to be condensed into 6 rounds, whatever it's going to be. Excuse me. Whoa, rich energy. That's good. Flies up as well.
Very good.
Yeah, it's we'll just wait and see, because they're going to have to put on another complete other team for me and James to do it. I mean, I don't mind if James does it, because he's there. I mean, it's easy for him just to go there and do it. Whereas for me, I've got to fly over. But I'd love to do it, and like I said, I'm good mates with James, and if he does it and I don't, I'm not really fussed. But as long as I do some riding this year, hopefully a couple of wild cards. That's what I want to do.
Good, great answer. Great, brilliant. There's a few that are asking about BSB actually, so I think that's answered a few people's questions. My son Simon Huntley asks if you have a favourite part of the TT course. I'd love to know that too. Yeah,
but that's it's a tough question because it changes every year. Because yes, it depends on what bike you're on. I know when I was with Norton, my favourite part of the track was my least favourite part of the track because it didn't work on that part. It was actually I got to that point of the track, I'm like, shit, here we go again. But the whole Glen Helen section where it's really short circuit, flowing, that's my favourite bit. But if you've got a bike that doesn't handle, that's not the best section for you. But yeah, on the Honda last year, definitely that thing worked amazing through that sector. So it still is my favourite bit. I just love the whole undulation. And when you get to Glen Ellen proper bit where the pubs there where the split time is, like that, when you go through the right and up over to the left, there's just nothing. That's awesome. I love that bit. And then from there you just you come out of the trees up onto Cronk Body Straight. So that whole sector from Bella Crane to Cronk Body Straight, that's my favourite bit. And what would say is your most challenging? What did you say that you really challenging wise? I think everybody would say the same thing. The bit from coming out of Ginger Hall, where it's really bumpy, and I don't know if they're ever going to resurface it there. But they haven't in 110 whatever years, so they're probably never going to do it. But excuse me, that's definitely the most challenging on your body. And I think me being a bigger guy, it's that plays into my hands a bit. Like, for example, I've been behind Lee Johnson through there, and it's just like he's a rag sitting on a bike. Like he's struggling to really muscle it through there. And that's on a 600, he can smoke me down there like I'm standing still. But on a super bike, that's where the bigger guys really benefit there. But and I don't know if it's going to be another question, but there's challenging in a different way. Another section is straight down Bray Hill. It's challenging for the brain because it's so freaking scary, like straight away. It's definitely the most scariest part of the track for me, going straight down Bray Hill, and it's straight up the start. So once you get through Bray Hill, you start to really focus on what you're doing. But once you get the nerves of shitting yourself out the window, then you can carry on. How is it coming over Argo's Leap? I mean, for us as fans, it's amazing to watch, obviously. But how does it feel for you how do you take to it? once you go through the dip of Bray Hill and then you sort of pop out, and then you've got to make sure the bike's dead upright over Ago's Leap, because on a 220, 30 horsepower bike, we get full airborne there. So you got to make sure the bike's dead upright, so it doesn't unsettle itself over the top. And then once it settles over Ago's Leap, that's literally the point where you can just, focus on the rest of the lap and what you got to do. But then you got to the flying lap down Bray Hill and over St. Ninians Crossroads is like, that's next level crap yourself stuff.
What's the max speed that you've got coming down there? Do you know?
Not sure. I think it's 185. I think that's the best that we've seen on there.
Amazing.
But because we're top gear and we sort of feather it a bit through the left just before you get to the bottom, and then as soon as you start to turn, go full throttle and then full throttle through the dip. So it's sort of it's lower revs in top gear. So it's going to be from 180 to 185.
Wow. Great. Thank you. All right. We've got lots of interaction here. It's fantastic. Do you have any superstitions or rituals before a big race at the TT?
Not really. I do actually. I'm lying. I do. I put like in my gloves. Always put my my right on first and my left boot before my right, and just little things like that. But and I have to if I put my leathers on, I can't put the top over my leathers before my boots. If I do that, I put the top of my leathers on. I'm like, shit, I forgot my boots. I've got to take the leathers off again and then put my boots on. So yeah, I'm a weirdo, but I think everyone's like that.
We've all got our own little ones, I think. Who are your racing heroes?
Well, Mick Dawn's my ultimate hero. Just everything about him is amazing. Like he's just he's so determined. And I thought that sort of probably didn't bring as many friends as what he would have had if he wasn't as determined. Because I think to do that, you've got to be a bit of an arsehole to sort of play mind games with people that much. But I do admire that, but I couldn't bring myself to sort of be that much of an arsehole, but in racing terms. But I know with John McGuinness, like he's a mate of mine, and he's my teammate at Macau. So if I tell him he's my hero, I think he gets a bit weirded out. But yeah, he's definitely a hero, and so is Dave Jeffries, like the original DJ. People call me DJ, and I don't really like it because he's the one and only DJ. I'm Davo, he's DJ, like because what he did around TT was unreal.
And the video that you talk about that has helped you with your knowledge around the track. That's helped so many riders, hasn't it? I think that's their go-to. Many of them, it's their go-to.
Quite a popular one, that. Just the way he narrates his way through it in his northern accent. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got someone joining us in the studio. We've got lots and lots of questions. It's amazing, but we've got a fan coming in. You might know him. Billy, welcome. I think having some Wi-Fi issues.
He's all the way down in Hinckley. He's got no reception down there.
Okay. Hey, Billy.
I think it might be the signal might be getting messed up by that porn star moustache he's got.
It's looking good though. He's rocking it.
What's happening?
I thought that moustache has its own Wi-Fi signal.
Still waiting for the pubs to open, mate.
It's not like you.
Yeah.
How you going, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Been a while since we last spoke.
Yeah. He rang me before.
Insurance.
He rang me before. I was like, I was either saying hello or he wants something, and he wanted something this time. So, at least you don't want something this time. It's good. I like it when you just call me just to say good day.
Billy, I have to comment on the tash. It's looking very good. You're rocking it.
Yeah. I said it was going to be a surprise, and Nad was like, "Yeah, good luck with the chat." And I was like, "Yeah, I got a little bit bad signal, so I've had to come down to one of my sponsors, just pick some pick some bits up.
Good
And
lad.
you guys-
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. So it's all good.
Good.
The old 70s porn star look we're going for.
Ultimate flame
Ron Jeremy.
saver.
Need to get Davo involved.
Oh no,
So, yeah, I've got a bit of a bad signal here. So
we got that.
I'm on the Wi-Fi, but it's not really.
Oh,
So
thanks.
I might have to,
We've got you anyway. Thank you for joining us, though, Billy. I really appreciate you jumping on.
no, that's all good. Yeah, it's good to see you.
Mm.
It's good to have a chat with you. Always good
Yeah.
to see Dave.
Oh, I love you, Bill. My
I
best
love
mate,
you
Bill.
So, Billy, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. I got you now. Yeah.
Yeah, so you've been lucky enough to join us at the TT.
Yeah,
Tell-
I was really lucky enough to join you at the TT, and obviously got some good friends there, and we come over the year when Davo was starting as number one on the Norton, and it's a real special moment of mine. I was going to bring it into his speech at the wedding, but sort of slipped by there after a few too many beers, and but yeah, it was a really special moment for me. Like I've seen Dave, I've only been TT 3 times, and the first time was when he was a rookie for my mate Bano's stag do. And we went over there then. And then the second time we had a few of the boys come over from Australia. So my mate Chad and mate Terry and my mate Chris Fairburn who lives in Louth. But we all went over there to support Dave. And it was starting number one, and as a close friend. And that was still a really special memory to me. And it still gives me goosebumps. And when I talk about it, it's a bit like this desert race. I remember when I was a young fella when my dad did it, but the first bike, you wake up and it's like 6 o'clock in the morning and you hear the first buggy coming down the dirt track, wow, through there, and you see it come through. And it was Dave starting number one. And so we sort of, knew it was Dave. And it's the first bike down the road. You can just hear it just start humming and it's getting close. It's like a big bumblebee coming close. And that Norton sounded excellent with the Aprilia engine in it. And, yeah, it was still, and it made your hair stand up and everyone, because everyone's so keen to see the first bike come through. And then Dave come through, and I said it to Dave. I said, it just looked like because all chrome leathers, all chrome bike, it just come through and just looked like a superhero, just like excellent, like pin perfect. And something just stuck in my memory about that first, starting that first position of the TT. And I was actually meant to ask Dave that, is it a bit more pressure with the starting number one, or would you rather do the first bit? I know you sort of sometimes you got people to chase and stuff like that, or do you prefer starting a little bit further back?
Well, I wanted to start. Well, when they gave me the option, do you want to start number one? I was like, holy fuck! Oh shit, I swore again. Sorry, excuse my French. But and it. Eventually, I just thought, yeah, why not? I'm doing it. And then John McGuinness told me, because he always has these little things that he doesn't even remember what he tells me about it. But he just says, just don't look behind, just keep going, just look forward. And I reckon I got to Ballacrane, and I started looking behind to see if that was coming. And it was only Bruce Anstey. But so yeah, I was cracking my ducks to start with, and then. Yeah, he didn't catch me until the mountain, and that was when I started to get the confidence to actually have the belief that I should be there and be number one on the road, and I rolled with it from there. But yeah, I looked around probably about 20 times in the first half of a lap, just to see who was coming, because he's very intimidating, but it was good at the same time, exciting.
Yeah, for sure. I guess you got the sort of clean track, but you're the one sort of making sure there's nothing else sort of on the road as well, making sure it's synced. So I guess it's just getting into the zone of it all. But yeah, that was So that I love the TT and that whole thing about it. But the only thing I hate about it is when you got we went obviously go there to support Dave and that, and it just feels like a lifetime from checkpoint to checkpoint where you don't know what's happening, or the anticipation of what's going on and all that, which sort of makes it exciting and that at the same time. But I'd love to have a go at it and just ride around on the one-way track, but it's definitely something that, as Davo put in his interview once, I wouldn't make it past Bray Hill. And I said, "Where's that?" And he said, just off the first turn." Those good confidence in me, mate. Is David?
Billy's not just sort of, because he's got one way on the track, and it's just all out or nothing, and that's sort of, he doesn't know any other switch. So it's and it's funny because
TT's
not for young Bilby.
We've been playing golf a fair bit because it's the only thing open in lockdown. I went out and smoked Shazzy the other day with his hand.
You smoked him?
Yeah, beat him. And then, on the Saturday golf days. And then I've been literally 4 times, and every time I say, geez, what's the next hole? And I says, like, that's why you don't do the TT. I can't remember the golf course, and we're only walking around it, let alone going around there flat out. So yeah, I think I'll just appreciate the boys that do it, and do a bloody good job of it. And the event's awesome. And I speak to one of Davo's mate, Damien from Bar George, and that a fair bit. And I think everyone's feeling the pressure from this COVID thing. And I think hopefully it'll be rammed next year with everyone actually. I think with the sort of the break from, I think everyone appreciates everything now. As you can see, with all the fat people trying to line up McDonald's like 800 meters down the road just to get a cheeseburger. So hopefully the same queue for all the racing next year. So
there'll be more lined up at the pub at the track.
Yeah. So,
guys, we've got some comments for you here. So big hellos from a lot of people. Lena Porter says hello, Billy. Heather Matthews, but also can Dave and Billy give a big shout out to their biggest fans from Bundaberg, Wendy and Paul Horton, and Caroli and Nick Piper.
How are we doing?
They love you guys, and we're coming over to see David this year, but it's so sad that they won't be able to make it.
Well, hopefully see you next year. We'll,
I think next year.
I'll give them a tour around the garage when they come next year.
Great, awesome. So guys, I want to ask you another question. So if you had a music track that could define your experiences on the bike up until this point, could you define it with one track? And if so, what is it?
Jeez.
Tough one.
If it was like your backing track right now for your racing, what would it be?
Something from Metallica, maybe.
I like that notorious B.I.G. I love it when they call me Big Papa.
Boom.
Yeah,
What's the
I was listening to it the other night, the Metallica.
Okay.
Give me fire.
Yeah, something from Metallica anyway.
That
fires me up massively.
Bat Out of Hell by Lena Porter here. Great, brilliant. So just before we close off, Billy, I just want to ask you, what are your thoughts on the riders that commit to this mental event, commit to this crazy racing?
I think it's something that like I thought about it a lot. I've been over there and flew over to have a look at doing the TT and stuff like that, and it's the like to ride. Like I do a lot of work for Triumph. I ride on the road, and it's just I find it dangerous on the road. Cars not given through, but to commit and apply yourself to, and I say it to like Dave, and when people say like, what's the TT about? And my brother-in-law Matt, he's in the army, and he has to run out of trenches and towards people getting bullets, and that's the only thing I could sort of relate it to. Like your whole, like I stress enough just going to a BSB race, and everything in motorcycle or anything's dangerous, but that level is and I think that's what makes it the most purest and like the most, from what I could see from Dave's emotions and what I would know I'd be feeling there is literally like going to war, but with yourself, and it's the war of emotions, knowing that you trust in your whole crew, but the whole thing of getting there and the whole year of build up, it's not like you go testing and you can't test for it. So it's literally, you've got that 2 weeks practice, but that's all jam packed in there where what I could imagine your thought process doesn't even do it. So my admiration for those boys is like, one, it's, just for anyone to go do the TT, it's a risk, and and to be pinpoint on the track, and then it's that thing that grabs you with races when you first start out. You miss an apex, fuck, I'll get that next time, and it's the whole thing with racing that gets it. And then once you get one result, but to do it, and then to do it like Dave does for a living, where the pressure of like you want to keep pushing, it's the same as any professional sport, I guess, and it's for what those boys do for those 2 weeks. It's that's fucking hardcore, man. There's no room. I just watched that Lee Johnson's little clip before from his last Super Sport. It was just like inch perfect little back in, and it's like precision around like where there's no room for error. So I think it's like one of the most awesome things to watch. And as a spectator, when you go there, you watch it on TV, and it's almost like the camera follows you perfect. But when you stand outside of the Bray Hill and you watch them jump there 2 wheels off the floor, like, the road bikes are not meant to do that sort of stuff. And like, when you watch GP and that's all smooth and that, like that TT, that's just fucking out there. So I think that's what grabs everyone. And I knew if I had to go at it, if I did make it past Bray Hill, I know I'd be back there again. So yeah.
See if we can get the quarter bridge.
Anyone that does it is I take my hat off to doing it, and just to have that just that physical thing. Like, yeah, I'm going to do the TT, or I'm going to do any racing. You know, for someone that commits to a sport or commits to an event and does it, you got to take your hat off to them. It's a lot easier sitting on the fence and calling someone shit, or they're a wanker, or they're useless. Anyone that gets up there and goes and does it and says they're going to do it and backs it up, you know, fair play to him. And the elite boys like Dave and the rest of the crew, man, like, you know, they do it for a living. And that the pressure of it, and it comes from everyone, from your sponsors to the team. You know, everyone expects results, and that's what they employ you for. But then you got to go out there and do it, and do it that inch perfect every time you're out there. And the biggest thing that I find, like that senior race, is like so much. You know, it's like the F1 races. They're like, what is it, 2 hours long or something? Like that concentration level for that inch perfect. You know, geez, I'm out. Like I'm out 30 minutes. So yeah, they're playing. Yeah. So as much as I love the TT, I sort of love it when it's over as well, and all the boys come back safe, hopefully, and you know, and then we'll have a drink and admire and watch the videos. And the TT is so, and that the big draw card to the TT as a rider like myself to want to do it, it's so recognised everywhere in the world. I meet someone at Singapore airport, they're like, "Oh, what do you do?" I said, "Oh yeah, I race motorbikes." "You do TT?" I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So I feel this when I don't do it. I love that my best mate does it, and a few of my friends and Hailey and the whole team's really massively supportive of it. So yeah, I love it, and yeah. So but I'm more of a supporter of it and a watcher than I think about doing it.
Great, mega, good stuff.
Stick
Thank
to
you,
winning
Billy.
BSBs, Bill.
Yeah, like that's the plan.
It makes me happy.
Well,
George,
thank you for joining us,
when you got
Billy.
a defibrillator at the pub.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, look out.
Give yourself a little rev up.
Brilliant. Thank you, Billy. Thank you for your time. It's great to chat with you, all right? And keep that cash. Keep it.
See you later, guys. Catch up.
Take care. Thank you. Davo, great. Nice little surprise. Yeah.
Thanks. That was good.
Yeah, of course. All right. So we have quite a few we'll do a couple more questions if that's all right, Davo, and then I'll let you get off into your evening, back to the family. I just want to touch on, so your beautiful new wife is Billy's sister-in-law, is that correct? Or
no, Billy's now with my wife's sister. It's confusing.
Okay.
Yeah,
brilliant.
As soon as he sort of met her, it was all over that day, pretty much.
Great.
It was drooling.
How is it for your family? Sorry, go for it.
I was just saying that's good. Now as my best mate's probably going to be my brother as well. So, but,
great.
Yeah, it's good.
And how is it for your families? Because I know, obviously, at the TT, Murray, your mum, and Els, they'll come with you when you're traveling. And how is it for them when they're supporting you at something like the TT with the intensity of it all?
Yeah, it's probably hard. It's definitely hard for them because they do tell me how hard it is. But they love it as well. They want to be there. Like they'd rather be there than watching it on live timing, which they did initially. And now I think it's probably 5 years straight that my parents have been, and my wife she's been 3 or 4 times, 3 times. Yeah, so it's sort of a yearly thing for them now. So, and they do enjoy it when it's there. Like it's a massive thing for all of us. And and it's like I say, it's exciting for all of us as well. Great.
And where do you tend to stay when you stay on the island? Do you go in a homestay or?
Yeah, well, it started off as a homestay, and now they're like family friends of ours, the household family. With George and Karen and Andy, Karen, George and Maisie. They're only here not long ago for the wedding, which was good. So they made it home made it back there just before the old pandemic kicked in, which is good. And we had people from all over the world as well, so it was lucky that we could have been a right little cluster of corona if it was a couple of weeks later. So we're very lucky. But yeah, so I stay with them. They live out. I can't remember what they've got an amazing place anyway, but it's out sort of overlooking. You can see Kate's cottage from my bedroom window. And if you can't see Kate's cottage, I go back to bed because it's the fog, so it's sort of a good indicator. Yeah. So good. It's awesome. Now it gets me away from the paddock as well, the intenseness of the paddock, and I get back and just have my alone time there. they look after me good. So yeah, I'll always stay with them, hopefully.
Great. And Joyce Fail, after Michael Dunlop retired on the last lap of the 2019 Classic TT, when did you find out, and was your subsequent win the highlight of your TT racing career so far? Excellent burnout, by the way. I know it was.
I got outdone by James Hillier, who put in second and just blew to the weeds of his burnout. That was amazing. There was even marshals that said like they hadn't seen smoke go that far down Glen Country Road ever than James's burnout. I think on that big Duke, he got up to 5th gear, just plowing through the gears. It was awesome. Yeah, he smoked my burnout, that's for sure. But I knew straight away because I saw him break down at Hilbury. So yeah, I went past and saw him. It took me a while to sort of believe what was happening, but yeah, like I said earlier on, it's something that his obviously in his career, people are breaking down in front of him, and he's taking the win. So it was, it was definitely his race. It was, for his bike to break down, it was unfortunate for him, but it was obviously a gain for us because my team prepared an amazing bike and we took it. But that's standing on the top step is, it doesn't matter what race it is, it's still a TT. It's a classic TT, but so that has to definitely be my highlight of my TT career so far. Definitely.
Amazing. Great, Davo. We'll finish on that. Thank you for your time. Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. It's been good talking to you. And thank you, everybody that's out there watching. And I hope you're all safe, and we'll be back out racing soon. We'll be able to,
fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Say a big hello to the family for me, and we look forward to seeing you back on the bike soon, and the TT next year as well. Bring on TT 2021, hey?
Definitely, and hopefully Macau Grand Prix as well.
Yes,
fingers crossed for that,
everything. Yeah,
we need that to happen big time.
Yeah, mega great. Thank you so much, Davo. Take care.
No worries. Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone, for contributing some fantastic questions. I really appreciate you joining us on this live. And even if you are watching it back, still fire the questions our way. And when we invite Davo back on the show again in the future, we can use them and fire them at him again. But guys, listen, remember, it is an interactive experience. We've got lots of fantastic content coming up. We've got a Mad Sunday special. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to be launching that today. You can be joining us that for the chat as well. But thank you for joining us. This is the Tales of the TT for the Spirit and Motorsport podcast, sponsored by Podium Vodka.